The tech giant Apple is likely to end its partnership with investment bank Goldman Sachs for its award-winning credit card, and the Goldman executive even described the Apple Card deal as one of the biggest mistakes ever. But why did the partnership didn't work out, and why was it created in the first place? And most importantly, what does this mean for current Apple Card users? Let's find out in this video. The high-profile partnership between Apple and Goldman Sachs that was created to operate the Apple credit card could soon be history. According to reports from the Wall Street Journal, Apple has floated the idea of wrapping up its credit card and savings account collaboration with the investment bank Goldman Sachs ahead of schedule. Essentially, the tech giant has proposed a term sheet that could pave the way for an early exit. But there's a catch. The plan would only kick in if Apple finds a suitable replacement for Goldman services within the next 12 to 15 months. But also from Goldman's side, it seems as interest has vanished as they plan to explore strategic alternatives for the consumer platform and leverage from their traditional strengths in investment banking with a growing focus on asset and wealth management. But let's rewind a bit. Why is this actually big news, and how did the partnership even happen in the first place? It's 2019 and Apple is starting a move that would reshape the consumer finance industry. At its services event, they introduced the Apple Card, a credit card available both physically and digitally that offers up to 3% cashback. It's the first big step of Apple into a post-iPhone future and emphasizes the importance of their services business unit. Apple understood that iPhone sales wouldn't grow forever, and the idea was that by using the iPhone as a gateway, they could turn every iOS or Mac user into a recurring revenue stream. And let's be honest, the features were not bad. The Apple Card stood out with no annual fees, no late fees, and the savings account came with a competitive interest rate. Apple also put a big focus on security, and CEO Tim Cook reassured users that transaction data won't be collected or sold to third parties by partner bank Goldman Sachs. Apple was positioned as the tech company users really can trust. But how did it look like in terms of revenue? Was the Apple Card actually lucrative for Apple? Well, Apple's main goal wasn't immediate profits, but to drive the adoption of Apple Pay. And this turned out to work very well. The number of global Apple Pay users increased from 67 million in 2016 to 507 million users in 2020. Unfortunately, Apple does not provide new figures for user data, and banks are contractually not allowed to share user numbers either. And also, when looking at user data for only the Apple Card, there's a considerable portion of currently over 6.7 million people that use the credit card in the US, and 60% even use it as their primary credit card. When it comes to the question how Apple concretely is making money from the Apple Card, the answer is quite straightforward and similar to most other credit cards. First, you have the Apple credit card fees. They amount to roughly 2% of the total amount of the purchase made. This is paid by the partner Goldman Sachs. And secondly, data collection. Whenever a customer uses its Apple Card to make a purchase, Apple is collecting data on their spending habits. This information is then used to refine Apple's advertising strategies and improve their products and services. As you can see, the introduction of the Apple Card turned out to be quite a success for Apple. But how does it look for their partner Goldman Sachs? Well, I let you in on a secret, it didn't go as nearly as well as for Apple. For Goldman, mostly known for their investment banking and trading department, the Apple Card deal posed the perfect opportunity to enter the retail consumer market. The partnership was seen as one of the most high-profile collaborations between Wall Street and big tech. But the dream soon began to crumble. Although Goldman greatly profited from Apple's brand, and Apple Card users now represent the largest contributor to the Consumers Division's 14 million customers, they recorded considerable losses from the Apple Card business. The issue? In order to boost user growth for its credit card, Apple was very easy on applicants, even on those with a low credit rating. And now, with inflation being at 40-year highs and people losing their jobs, the weakest American borrowers are starting to miss payments and default on their loans. The result? Goldman's loss rate on credit card loans is at 2.93%, which is the worst among major American card issuers. In addition to that, Goldman executives are not happy with the fact that Apple demanded that all Apple Card customers receive their bills on the same day, which leads to a huge inflow of customer service calls, and Goldman also blames Apple for several regulatory issues they had with the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau and Federal Reserve. Now, with Goldman's pullback from consumer finance, there's one question to answer. Who will replace the bank and step into the partnership with Apple going forward? Well, there's several banks that have just come into the limelight and are being traded as future successors, but especially one bank makes the most sense, namely JPMorgan Chase. With $1.14 trillion in assets, Chase is positioning itself as a strong partner who also possesses the digital infrastructure, including tokenization technology and experience in tech collaborations to manage the Apple Card. And Chase has something else going for it. It already offers credit cards that use the MasterCard network, the same system that operates the Apple Card. This means that Apple wouldn't need to switch to Visa or American Express platforms. However, it's worth noting that with all of the discussions on the new partner bank, Apple is currently working on Project Breakout, as it is referred to internally. In this undertaking, Apple is trying to bring as many of its financial products in-house as possible and tries to create its own payment processing technology and infrastructure to become less dependent on partners. But now, the most important question: what does the shake-up mean for current Apple Card users? To be honest, most likely nothing will change. Apple's financial services are very similar to other retailers' credit cards, and it's not uncommon that banking partners are changing. A good example for this is the Credit Suisse UBS situation. After the Credit Suisse has collapsed in March 2023 and has been purchased by Swiss rival bank UBS, Credit Suisse customers were asked if they want to continue their credit card with UBS. If so, a seamless transition to the new bank was promised. What do you think of this whole situation? Are you using an Apple Card and are you satisfied with it? I'm really interested to hear your views on this topic. And don't forget to subscribe and leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.